This just in, breaking news. Our top story tonight, Winklevoss twins think Bitcoin could be worth millions down the road. I'm sorry to tell you this, guys, but you're still not Facebook. Also tonight, a Korean teenager caught with a fake cryptocurrency. When reached for comment, he said, "This isn't a large problem, it's just a micro one." In other news, Bank of America secures a patent for its cryptocurrency-based exchange. My thoughts on the matter are fuck you, Bank of America. Didn't want to bank there anyway. And finally tonight, the founder of Litecoin fires shots at IOTA, which begs the question, why don't you pick on someone your own size? You know, someone a little smaller. All of this and more tonight on Crypto News. Now, we have a lot of great topics to dive into, but before we do that, let's take a quick look and see what the prices are like of the top 10 coins recently in crypto. So this is what the market looks like at the moment. We're seeing Bitcoin getting a healthy rally going again, despite fears that Wall Street was going to be shorting it and would cause a massive drop in the price. We're seeing that price still get a little bit of growth here today. Not too much movement for most of the other top 10, but everyone just about in the green. So profit across the board. Bit of a rally going here for Bitcoin Gold, bit of a surprising rally, sizable gains for Bitcoin Gold. But really, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Gold, the only major winners here over the last 24 hours. Let's go ahead and jump into our first story here tonight. Bitcoin Platinum being a scam by a South Korean teenager. Before we jump into that story, I do want to address that there have been a lot of Bitcoin forks over the last few months. You know, it started with Bitcoin Cash back in August, and then we saw Bitcoin Gold last month also fork off, and even recently Bitcoin Diamond recently forked, all different versions of Bitcoin, all with their own prices and communities. Basically, these are all now altcoins that kind of spawned off of Bitcoin. The problem with these forks is that it's causing some confusion to the public, and it's hard to know exactly what coins are forking and when. There are so many potential forks that could happen, and no one wants to miss out on that free money. Even though it's not exactly free, people think of it as free because one Bitcoin becomes worth one Bitcoin and the forked coin. Now, that forked currency is taken into account in the price because if it wasn't, people could buy Bitcoin just to get that free currency. So what we saw kind of before the Bitcoin Gold was a surge in the Bitcoin price. A lot of people wanting to get in on that forked money because the Bitcoin Cash fork went so successfully. Bringing it back to talk about Bitcoin Platinum, not too much is known about this coin. It did have a Twitter handle at Bitcoin Platinum, which was the account run by the scammer. And the goal was to try and decrease the price of Bitcoin by announcing this fork and to try and short Bitcoin before it would happen. Now, there wasn't a lot of information out because guess what? This wasn't a real fork at all. Eventually, the creator of Bitcoin Platinum actually went public and said, "Please forgive me. Bitcoin Platinum is a scam coin. I created the project to earn 5 million Korean won, which is a value of only 4,600 US dollars. This is pretty crazy stuff that we saw someone create a coin just to make such a small amount of money, but it really shows you the danger in not knowing what real forks are going to be coming up, which is why here at Crypto News, we decided to get all of the upcoming forks together so we can show you what legitimate Bitcoin forks will be happening soon. These forks include Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Bronze, Bitcoin Uranium, Bitcoin Magnesium, Bitcoin Cash Plus. I can't believe it's not Bitcoin. Bitcoin Pyrite, Super Bitcoin, Super Duper Bitcoin, Diet Bitcoin, Bitcoin 2 Electric Boogaloo, Bit Rubles, Bitcoin Crystal, Bitsy Babies, and now that's what I call Bitcoin. That was a pretty good bit. Next up, let's talk about Bank of America, who recently secured a patent for a cryptocurrency-based exchange system. This patent would allow Bank of America to allow customers to exchange their cryptocurrencies on their platform for other cryptocurrencies. Apparently, the system uses 3 separate accounts, one of which is owned by a customer, a kind of intermediary account, and then another account from Bank of America itself. It's a little confusing as to what they exactly plan to do with this, but it does show that they're preparing to implement some cryptocurrency functions. Now, before you get too carried away, this does not mean that Bank of America is even going to do this. It just means that they've secured the patent. So if they want to have that option, it is available to them. We're going to have to see what moves are made as we move forward with a lot of the large banks. But it's safe to say that banks like money, and so they're going to be pretty interested in what's going on in the world of crypto. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bank of America implement this down the road, but again, it's not going to be anytime soon, so don't get your hopes too high. Let's jump in and talk about Charlie Lee attacking IOTA on Twitter with some pretty aggressive comments. For those of you who don't know who Charlie Lee is, he is the founder of Litecoin, the 6th largest cryptocurrency. Now, Charlie Lee is known for being pretty aggressive on offering his opinion and trying to make the world of crypto a better place. Charlie Lee responded on Twitter to someone complaining about IOTA, saying, "Is IOTA just hype or is there real value in Tangle? I've only heard bad things like centralized with coordinators and that they rolled their own crypto and had a huge vulnerability. I'm open to be convinced, ... It's been known in the world of crypto for a while that IOTA has some potential issues with its cryptography. I would certainly know, as I am a leading engineer in the world of crypto, and I'm pretty sure that the problem kind of boils down to the doors are open and like people could go in those doors, which is bad because you want to keep your doors locked." Now, as much as I do know about the development side of this, I figured I would just double check on Twitter, which is why I asked, what does rolled their own crypto mean? To which Rob Hamilton responded, they created their own cryptographic library. Cryptography requires the utmost diligence and peer review. That's why we have security standards in place that go through years of vetting. By making their own crypto library, they open themselves to vulnerabilities like below. And then he shows some tweets of some issues that they've had. So yeah, I already knew about this stuff, known about it for a long time, pretty well known. I just wanted you guys to know about that too. The development side of cryptocurrency is no joke, and there aren't that many people out there that are talented enough to make it work. When you have something brand new like IOTA, where you're trying to do something completely game-changing, this isn't even blockchain technology, you have to make sure that everything works, and sometimes that takes a long time to implement. So the jury is still out on whether IOTA is going to be the future or not. They're going to have to solve some problems, and there are at least some well-known people in the community that think that there are issues at hand. Let's move to our top story tonight. The Winklevoss twins predict a multi-trillion-dollar market cap for Bitcoin. In order for Bitcoin to hit a multi-trillion-dollar market cap, a single coin has to be worth over 120,000 US dollars. Crypto is no stranger to people making lofty aspirations as to where Bitcoin will go, and no one is more known for that than John McAfee. John tweeted that if Bitcoin did not hit $500,000 in 3 years, that he would eat his dick on national television. Which is a pretty strong thing to say, but it makes you wonder why. Why? Pretty much just why. Why would you say that? You know, why not say something like you'll lose X amount of dollars, you're going to do something as punishment? No, this guy, he's going to eat his dick. It's like he thinks if he just says that, people are going to make videos talking about it. Doesn't work like that, buddy. Wait, fuck, it works exactly like that. Shit. Bringing this back to the Winklevoss twins, these guys are famous for suing Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, claiming that he stole their idea. They had their own social platform called Harvard Connection, later renamed ConnectU, saying that Zuckerberg stole the idea and that's what he used to make Facebook. Having moved on from social networking into the world of Bitcoin, these guys bought a ton of Bitcoin years ago when it was much cheaper, and an investment made then would be worth billions of dollars today. In fact, it is rumored they have over 100,000 Bitcoin, possibly more. I think those are just the ones that are known about. So these guys are worth at least a couple $1 billion together. Cameron Winklevoss, one of the two twins, recently had an interview with CNBC where he said a few things I think you guys are going to like to hear. Quote, "We've always felt that Bitcoin, given its properties, is gold 2.0. It disrupts gold. Gold is scarce. Bitcoin is actually fixed. Bitcoin is way more portable and way more divisible. At a $300 billion market cap, it's certainly seen a lot of price appreciation. But gold is at $6 trillion, and if Bitcoin disrupting gold is true and it plays out, then you can see 10 to 20 times appreciation because there is a significant delta still." So what Cameron's saying here is that if Bitcoin does become digital gold, it could see that same price as gold is right now of roughly $6 trillion, possibly more if it ends up being more effective than gold. But the question is, will it become that disruptive? Will it overtake gold as that store of value that we see today? Long term, directionally, it is a multi-trillion-dollar asset. I don't know how long it takes to get there. So Cameron's saying that we're going a multi-trillion-dollar market cap. That means Bitcoin would be over $120,000. It just might take a while. And you know what? I'm okay with the wait as long as it's like, 2018 or maybe 19. Cameron also went on to say that we've seen the bubble term thrown around and it's just not the right way to look at this. Social networks grow in value exponentially based on the number of users and participants. The difference between 1 and 100 is dramatic. 100 and a million is that much more dramatic and exciting. As more people join, it gains more value. And while I agree that I don't think Bitcoin is a bubble, I'm not sure that I buy into the logic here in this paragraph, because that's like kind of exactly what bubbles are. Way more people get involved and it surges the price, but then those people leave. The real argument against it being a bubble is that it becomes part of the way that the community operates. It becomes ingrained in the way that we use our finances, and it actually has the power to become part of the way that people function. It's retained and is used by the community moving forward. Just saying people are getting involved is kind of like, okay, sure, but that's exactly what happens with bubbles before they burst. Now, I'm not saying it's a bubble, guys. I've been in Bitcoin for many years. I'm going to continue to be in Bitcoin, but I just want to give a fair assessment of the way that he's looking at it in this paragraph. So what do you think? Is Bitcoin going to this crazy price? I do think it will. I think it might be far down the road. I don't think that it's going to be very quickly. I think we could see a huge correction back to more, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 prices at some point. I could see it just surging and getting there kind of quickly. I honestly don't know. I'm not here to tell you that it will or won't. But what I will say is that I believe in the fundamental value of cryptocurrency. And I think that long run, it makes sense to have a decentralized digital currency. Now, we don't know exactly when or where that will be. We don't know what kind of swings are in store. I am sure, guys, I promise you, we're going to have some massive downturns. It will absolutely happen. We're going to have plenty of good-sized up ones as well, but you don't just get to win every day. That's not the way that this works. Anyway, I'm excited for the future of Bitcoin. I'm happy to be a part of this world, and I hope you guys stop by the channel to watch some videos and click that subscribe button. We got a lot more content coming up I think you guys are going to like. Make sure to stay tuned, and thanks for watching.